This is
Brighton's finest.
bringing the artists closer to you.
Juice.
You're coming to Brighton, which is really exciting.
This will actually be our third time there. We were supporting Porches, I think, at Sticky Mike's. And then I've also played a small festival at the Green Door store, which was fun, when we came over for a press trip.
So it sounds like you've got quite a good relationship with Brighton.
I do. I really love Brighton. I think it's one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
Yeah, we are lucky down here, certainly with the amount of music as well.
Yeah, I've never been to such a vibrant coastal town. You know, I feel like usually coastal towns are a little bit sleepy, but Brighton feels quite urban.
It's true. It's very true. Well, you're doing this tour, and I haven't personally seen you, but I've had friends who, they kind of obsess over you, in a nice way.
Oh, that's great, yeah.
Could you tell me what I and the other listeners who haven't seen you yet would expect from a Japanese breakfast live show?
It's hard to say because I've never watched it, you know. But I think that we put on an exciting show. It's quite a diverse set. I think our albums are usually the songs have a great range. So we'll do some dancing and we'll have some more somber ballads, and it's kind of like the whole gamut. I think that we put on a great live show. So I'm proud to bring it.
From what I've heard, I would agree with you there. Now this is all on the back of what is a spectacular album, Soft Sounds from Another Planet, which you released earlier this year. It's been out for quite a while now. Has your take on the album changed at all? Having it out in the public, has your perspective on some of the songs changed?
I think that it's been really fun to bring them into a live environment. Usually our songs are quite fully arranged, so it's fun to kind of try to rework them live and figure out what's really important to have on there. Because when I go into a studio, I really just, at least with Japanese breakfast, you know, it's not a traditional band where we're all sort of assigned instruments. So I get to really get creative with the arrangements, and that was really fun. But then when you bring it into a live setting, obviously right now we can pretty much only afford to have 4 people in the band, and it's been fun to rework it for that setting. It's hard to say. I think that my feelings towards the songs have changed, are constantly changing. I think Boyish in particular used to be a song that I think that was a little bit angrier, and now I think it's more about kind of navigating your own personal emotions instead of blaming someone else's infidelity.
That is interesting because I speak to a lot of bands and they do tend to say that they'll have a song which they'll write and then maybe half a year later they'll be looking back at it and go, oh, I didn't realise I was kind of at that stage at that time. So it is really interesting.
I think that for that song in particular, I'm so much older than when I wrote that song Boyish. I wrote it quite a long time ago, maybe 5 years ago, and then reworked the instrumentation, but the lyrics stayed the same. And in retrospect, it's kind of wow, I felt so strongly about this thing that was kind of silly in retrospect, you know? So I think it's now when I think about that song, it's about just being young and feeling so much, whereas when I wrote it, I think it was, you know, just full of anger at another person. That
And have they ever commented on the song? Have they worked it out?
It's actually very funny because the person I wrote that song about is now my husband. So yeah, we worked it out.
Brighton's finest.
This is Juice.
Well, another really, very unique thing that has come with the album is a video game. How cool's that?
It's very cool. I really love talking about it, honestly, because, you know, it's just such a unique experience to put that together. And I've been a video game fan since I was a young kid. It's always been a big role in my life. My father and I used to play role-playing games together, RPGs, and it was a really big part of my childhood. So it was really fun to connect with Elaine Fath, who designed the game, and with me, and just have that kind of creative input and outlet. And I'm so happy I got to do it. I hope I get to do it again.
Well, I'm sure there'll be another one coming soon because it suits the theme of the album so well. And I love the fact that if you complete the game, then you can download the tunes as well.
Yes. I was really happy that we got that to work, yeah.
Yeah, it's such an awesome thing to do.
Thank you very much.
So did you have quite a say in it as well? Because I see that there's kind of Alex G t-shirts as a...
Yeah, all of the Easter eggs were mostly my ideas. Yeah, it was really fun. I had a big involvement with the script, obviously, and I got to pick out all of the Easter eggs that I wanted, and that was sort of my idea for the game in general. It's just kind of to be able to shout out all of my friends, because it's quite a unique relationship that you get to have with other musicians, you know, because at this point I see other musicians more often than my friends at home in the city that I live in, because I'm just on tour all the time. So
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to like give a little nod to all of those people, and I think it's fun to have audiences who know, you know, their music as well to see that kind of reference.
That is, that is nice. So you're in the UK until, well, the 7th of November, where you do a gig in London, which I'm sure is going to be a scream.
Nuts.
So what's happening next? Like, because it's nearing Christmas, what does a Japanese breakfast Christmas kind of look like? Do you huddle around a table and share crackers, or do you kind of head off into the hills with your own families?
Actually, we're going on an Asia and Australia tour in December, and I believe that we finish in Seoul December 14th. So my husband, who also plays guitar in the band, we're just going to stay in Seoul in Korea. And I get to celebrate Christmas in Korea. I'm very excited. It'll be my first Christmas there. My father, who lives in Thailand now, will be visiting, and I'll likely spend it with my aunt and my husband and my father.
That is going to be magical. Christmas in Seoul.
It is. In Seoul, yeah. I've actually never been there in the winter time. So.
Will you be planning to try and see some music over there? Because I know South Korea's got a very strong music scene.
Yeah, I'm excited. We're staying in Hongdae, which is kind of like the arts college area. So I imagine that's also where the venue is, and I hope I get to meet some bands and see some music. I'm a big fan of this rapper who's New York and Korean. I think she's based between the two places, named Yeji, and I think she's going to be in Seoul when I'm there, so hopefully I'll get to see her perform.
This is
Juice,
Brighton's finest.
bringing the artists closer to you.